Hi, welcome to the student-led conference. I'm Avi. Obviously, you know me, I'm Grace. Basically, the student-led conference is just to show you just like the insides of what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, the assignments we complete, why we do them, some of the assignments I like the best, just to just really give you a greater look into what we do here and like a daily life of Port St. Lucie High School, like of my day. That's basically why you're here. I thank you for coming, and that's basically what the student-led conference is. Instead of a teacher leading the conference, it's a student-led conference.
Okay.
So the student can show their parents like, just exactly what's going on, show them assignments, let them know just what's up, basically, just to give them a to-do of, okay, well, what's going on when my child goes to school. So it's just to give you an inside look. So that's all this is. Okay, so I'm going to start you out with the worksheet we had to complete. It's called a How I See Myself worksheet. So on this worksheet, there's one for semester 1, semester 2. You're going to be looking at semester 2. And this worksheet is basically just to show you how I rate myself. So for example, complying with dress code. So I'm gonna rate myself on how I believe how I comply with dress code 1 to 4. So obviously 1 being low, 4 being the best. So for that one, I put a 4 because I believe that every day I come, I'm in dress code. You know what I mean? I have that down pat. So this is basically me just guiding myself and grading myself on my strengths. So you can just look at that. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask.
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure I lose here or
You're right. I think I really like those PowerPoints. You really
Okay. Next I'm going to show you my student action form. And the student action form is really just to give you a look into what exactly my grades are, my strengths, my weaknesses. So I believe my strengths are as a student are my ability to speak confidently, my strong opinions, my work ethic, and leadership abilities. And I believe that in order to be a better student, I need to complete all of my work, all of my assignments. So this is just to give you an overall on exactly what my percentages are and where I want to be. So I'm going to start out in HOPE, which is it is physical education, and it is health mixed together. It's a class that every freshman has to take. So my average in HOPE is a 99%. I plan on raising this to 100% by always completing my assignments. The next course is English. I take pre-IB English 1, that is the exact course. And my average in English is an 100%. I plan on maintaining this by completing my assignments and giving all my effort. The next class is math. My specific course is Algebra 2. My average in Algebra 2 is a 94%. I plan on raising it to a 97% by using my own time to review. The next class is freshman seminar. My average is a 100%. I plan on maintaining this average by continually completing work and going above and beyond. And my last course is science, which I take biology. My average in biology is a 98%, and I plan to raise this to 100% by studying for tests and handing in all work. That's just to give you just an overview of what exactly my grades are and what I believe to be are my strengths and my weaknesses. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Okay. Next, I'm going to show you my portfolio in action. It's going to be a little lengthy, but it's just basically to show you some of the assignments from each of my classes. So first, I'm going to start out with freshman seminar. The first assignment I'm going to show you was completed on 2/9, and it was my Black History Month project. And I chose this project because I really enjoyed learning about a prominent Black figure in our society, and the person I chose, I did Will Smith. And as you can see in my PowerPoint, it basically was just the basics of who he is, what he does, what he's achieved, just giving you like the basics about him. And I really enjoyed this project. I liked learning about him. You know that I really do love him. I love his work. So it was a really fun thing to do, and just to get a little bit more information on who he is and what exactly he's done and the movies he's been, just to give myself a closer look at him. The next assignment that I did was on 3/17. I did a college presentation PowerPoint. I chose this piece because I loved researching a college and finding interesting facts. So basically, we had just been learning about colleges, what exactly is needed, how to get in, just the basics of stuff like that. And to help us out, he had us choose a college we think we would want to go to. So I chose the University of Florida, as you can tell. Here's my PowerPoint. Just basically some of the things about the University of Florida, why I'm interested in it, where it is, their mascots, their colors, what kind of things they offer. Just basically to just give me an inside look of this college and maybe me preparing myself to do that in the future. Okay, so for the next class, it's English, which is my pre-IB English class. We're actually sitting in it. The date is 4/6, and it was my Greek goddess presentation. I chose this piece because it was tough to learn MLA format, but I persevered and got 100%, thanks to my wonderful teacher. I'm just going to show you. So basically it was this project just to get all of my classmates, we all were assigned a Greek god or goddess, just to get us a little more closer with exactly who the Greek gods are, like what they do and their powers and what exactly goes on. So I was given Aphrodite, and also in the project we had to dress up, just some really fun things. So this is my my presentation for it. It's this thing called a Prezi. It's kind of like a PowerPoint. It's just to give you information. I created this online just to give you more facts about who Aphrodite is, what she's done. It was a project I really did enjoy.
That's your favorite.
Yeah. Okay, so for the next assignment I have for English was my soundtrack project that was completed on 3/11. I chose this piece because I loved Romeo and Juliet and also picking songs to go with the story. So basically, this project was retelling the story of Romeo and Juliet, but with songs that you chose. And I love that. I love music, and it was a really cool way to understand the story, because if you don't understand the story, you can't pick a song that goes with it.
Sure.
So not only were we in the process of understanding the story, but trying to find these songs that matched this mood. It was just a project I really enjoyed. It was really, really cool. And as you can see here, it was something that was really cool and it was really awesome. Okay, so the next course we have is math, algebra 2. The date was 4/7. It was a test on polynomials. I actually have this. I chose this piece because I worked very hard and I earned my grade. I ended up getting, I think one wrong, but there was a bonus question, so I ended up getting 100%. It basically was just about the basics of polynomials and adding, subtracting, and just things like that.
Awesome.
The next assignment I have was completed on 4/27. It was my Fibonacci sequence presentation. I chose this because the Fibonacci sequence really interests me. The Fibonacci sequence is basically a sequence of numbers that a man in, I think it was the 1840s, his name was Leonardo Pacini, he created this sequence that the first number and the second number add up to the next one. And it basically was just the basics of that and exactly what it was, and it was a presentation on just exactly what the Fibonacci sequence was and just giving you some examples of it. So as you can see, there it is. And then, so next we have science. I take biology. The first thing was completed on 3/8. It was the components of an ecosystem. I chose this piece because it included some physical exercises that were also really great. I have it actually physically for you. It basically was a project just learning about an ecosystem and how to get food, and it was really cool because my teacher intertwined with we did a little thing outside and we got to pretend like we were bears, but it was just something to get you out of the classroom, to get your mind working a little better. That just really helps you see both dimensions of learning. It's not always just in a classroom and taking down notes. There's really two sides to all of it. The next assignment I have was completed on 4/4. It was my human evolution packet. It was cool to compare modern day humans to fossils. So basically it was just comparing the fossils of that scientists have found back in the day to modern day humans and actually how similar they are. It's just giving you a lot of evidence for evolution and just basically how it's so weird how connected we are with these fossils. And it's weird because they're fossils in the ground. These are people who are dead and gone, but we have such a connection with them. Our bodies are almost the exact same. It's so cool. And then lastly, I have hope. This assignment was completed on 4/1. It is my drug research project. It was interesting to learn information about a specific drug. My drug was PCP. PCP is a hallucinogen drug. It basically just really gives you hallucinations and makes you feel like you're not there. But it was really cool to just take a really close look at drugs, how they affect you, just so to give me more information, so I can stay away from that stuff. And especially getting to know more information about a specific drug. It was just really interesting to me. And then the next assignment I have was my medicine foldable, and I chose this piece because I liked that I could put my personal spin on the assignment. It basically was just showing medicines that either prevent disease, fight pathogens, relieve pain, or promote health. And I like the fact that I could do my own little doodles on it and make it my own while also still understanding the information. So those were all the assignments for each of my classes. Those were just to give you a deeper look into what I'm doing here. Do you have any other questions I can ask you, or any other questions you
No,
can
but
ask
it was
me?
really neat to see what you do on a daily basis and just walk me through this is
Yeah.
what class, this is the test, this is what I do for the day, and this is my grade. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, so that's it.
Welcome to my student-led conference at Port St. Lucie High School. Are you comfortable to continue?
Yes.
Okay. So the purpose for today is to talk about how I've been doing in school and what I've been doing and my strengths and weaknesses as a student as I feel and how I think I can improve on everything. and we're gonna look at some assignments that I feel I've done well on or I could improve on.
Okay.
And basically that's it.
Perfect.
So now we're gonna go into the sheet how I see myself. And I've basically scored myself on how I believe I do in these skills. And I've checked some off as 3 because I believe I can improve on those skills, like such as using the management tool to monitor progress and make adjustments. I believe I can do better in that and improve in that. And I also believe that I can improve like managing my time, and yeah, that's for semester 1. This is semester 2.
Oh, okay.
But as you can see from semester 1, I've improved in some areas such as that.
Oh, okay, perfect. So you are moving to increase that.
And I can recognize that a problem may exist. I've improved in that. And I've gone up from, oh, no, I'm still the same. Because I feel like I can still improve because there's a lot of problems that still exist, and I believe that I can just do better. And I can determine what questions to ask. I've gone through that because I've learned some skills that I can be able to recognize, like the situations in which questions may be there.
Good. Okay.
If you have any questions, just ask.
So now that we're at this 3 right here and right here for these 2 areas, how are you going to bring that to the next level, to that 4? What are you thinking that you are planning on doing, or something that we can do together to help you do the management tool to monitor and progress and make adjustments? How are you going to try to bring that over a little bit more?
To monitor progress and make adjustments, I can see what adjustments I need to make and what progress I need. And when I do believe that I feel like I've made progress, I will write it down. And if I believe I've decreased in making progress, then I will continue to just monitor and see what I need help on and where I can make adjustments.
Okay, yeah, that sounds perfect.
And then what else?
And then this one right here, so we can get at that 4. I can recognize that the problem may exist and that there is a need to identify resources to a person that can provide assistance. And I think that's definitely a good one to do because, you know, it seems like you always want to be like so independent and to ask for that assistance. So I think that this is really good. So how are you going to bring this to that next level? What are you thinking?
And I did another one about drugs. This one was
Okay, so
mushrooms.
providing assistance and recognizing that a problem may exist, I can use some resources that may help me recognize, and like the PERT.
Right.
Let's go with the PERT. I cannot pass the PERT,
Right.
and I've been going to tutoring for the PERT.
Right.
So somebody has been providing assistance for me to pass the PERT because I am not able to do it on my own for the 7th time.
So, and then I just think that also, like I know you want to be more independent, but I think that asking us for help and a study guide, like we mentioned, or meeting with me one-on-one, it's okay to come back and just say, I need some help in adjusting, and I think that will bring you to that level 4, and I think it will let you pass that test. If you ask for more help and support from us. I know you want to do things on your own, but I think that'll be great.
Okay. Is that it for that sheet? Okay. Now we're going to move on to my student action form, which is this. This is semester 2.
Okay.
So this is from quarter 3 and my grades and how I think I can improve my grades. For math, when I was struggling with my teacher situation, I had an 86.50, and in order for me to bring that up, I would have had to go on Khan Academy more and just do my assignments to the best of my abilities. And freshman seminar, I think I'm good on. Science, I've improved this quarter, and I've gone up in my grades. I have a 94 right now.
And what are you doing a little differently in the science? Because I know you did bring it up. Did you just study more?
Yeah, I studied more
Did you get an
and
extra credit?
it's because, no, she doesn't get extra credit, but it's because like the material that we were learning last quarter I struggled on. It was cells and I don't understand cells, but I do now. But now we're like into the ecosystem and stuff like that, and I get that better because I've had more practice with it.
And it's good that you can identify that you're struggling with that cell issue.
I'm trying to keep it.
And then, that's good. Great, this looks good.
Okay. Do you have any more questions?
Nope, this looks good.
Now my portfolio in action. So this is basically assignments that I've been working on in class, and we'll start with freshman seminar, the college project.
Okay.
So, let me take a picture of this.
Alright.
Let me send it to your dad. That's awesome. High five.
So if you want to look over it while I read the learning goals. So the learning goal for this project was the student will understand the skills necessary for employment and be able to maximize their skill meant to be competitive in their chosen career path. So before we started the PowerPoint, we were talking about the difference between a job and career and how I can pursue
I'm proud of you.
what I want to go into as a career and where. And I chose UCF.
And I really like how you could take that goal and actually like explain it to me. Because it's kind of difficult. Alright, so you picked UCF?
Yes.
Okay.
And UCF, I think, is, honestly, I don't care what university I go to, but I do want to go into college, obviously, because I believe that I have the ability to put myself out there and get the job that I want to. And I'm thinking about going into politics.
Wow, you really changed it.
Well, at first it was ocean geography and going into politics. So, yes. And I chose this piece because it helped me prepare for the future and was an interesting and fun activity for me to do.
And so you have all the facts here of this.
And some interesting facts, yes.
Huh. That's interesting. The average high school GPA of 1.3. This is really cool that you took this and chunked it out. You should see what other students did this for each one, like for each university. This is great. Do they have politics at that one?
I don't know, I didn't look into it that much. I just looked at basic classes and what I need to get into it.
And it's cool that you noticed that the tuition and how the credit hours in state and out of state are how different and how the total enrollment is so important.
Now we will go on to the Black History presentation. And we are still in freshman seminar for this, so we're just going to continue freshman seminar, and this will be the last one for freshman seminar. Okay, so for this one, I chose Dr. Dre because obviously he's like one of my favorite people to listen to, but anyways. Plus that's when I watch Straight Outta Compton. But so the learning goal for the Black History presentation was students will be able to analyze multicultural scenarios. I chose to do Dr. Dre because I learned about his life and how he became so famous as he is right now. And he's one of my favorite artists, so if you want to look through it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Question action. And this basically, like, linear and challenge. And on here, you have academics and my grade level is we don't get to see more, okay? I got
Okay.
Okay, now we're gonna go into English with Miss Ford, who I love. And I chose the Greek God PowerPoint. Okay, we're going to this one.
So here's my portfolio of all the work that I've done. Okay. We're gonna start with my first
Okay. So I did arrows slash Cupid. And the learning goal for this project was students will be able to research their god slash goddess and present a PowerPoint to this class. It was a fun and challenging project, and it was also unique, and I learned about how he is still recognized in society today, and as you know, Valentine's Day and stuff like that. And we just recently started the audius. Yeah. Okay. And that has to tie in with all the gods and the goddesses and how they affect the Decius' journey back to Ithaca.
It's a pretty cool project. It came out great. Now, did you have to present this in front of the class that
Okay, the last one in here is the soundtrack project, and that was with Romeo and Juliet. And we took a scene in Romeo and Juliet, and we found a song that related to the scene. And here, if you want to look through, just click that button. And the learning goal was students will be able to analyze how complex characters develop over the course of a text, interact with other characters, and advance the plot or develop the theme. I loved doing that project because it was fun, like learning how music still goes with old literature, and it
you
shows
really
my
must have had to chunk out that lesson, because that's a lot for the learning goal.
and we're also using it in the book we're reading right now. And I was a leader in my group, so it shows my abilities to lead and work well with the others.
How many people were in your group?
3 other people.
This is how I see myself sheet from the mechanics fair from the first semester to the second semester. First second semester, I went kind of up and down in certain subjects. One thing I'm stuck at for this one right here, that's like from the steps, I went down in it. And I worked from up to 6. Yeah, I did myself. Yeah.
And this is how you my learning goals. And I will tell you what my learning goals. And then this one is for English.
This is a student application. We'll basically we'll be able to kind of what I got last quarter for my
That's cool.
first subject. So it's a 79 which is a really low B.
And I showed the class my dancing skills.
I'm going to try harder in that class, dress out more, to try to get it. For English, I got a 95.
My next
I got 95 and like I want to try to keep that.
can't get on because I
I'm trying to keep that maybe higher.
It was
I
my
want to try to get an A for
second
English this quarter.
but I can't go on the internet.
For math I got a 75, which is a C. I want to try to beat that or maybe even bring that to a B. Currently right now I'm trying to memorize the math right now. Yeah. For purpose color, I have A1.
So some of them I see that the artist is in there, and then others I just see that there's like the lyric quotes, so you could take either or. Was that correct, or was it just from that one?
So I want to try to get
Singer.
I want to try to get
Like this one says the lyrics, no one compares to you, I'm scared.
You had to take, you had to cite textual evidence and see how the lyrics went with the textual evidence.
Oh, okay. I got it.
And I believe that will try to student is pay more attention and practice over things. And study, extra credit, study more, and etc.
I like the Rihanna one, the Alicia Keys one.
Right
That's
here,
good
right here,
too.
these
But the High School Musical made me laugh a little bit, I have to say.
Okay,
But it did go good, well.
now we're gonna move on with Algebra 2, which was, okay, so I started with the polynomial quiz. And the polynomial quiz was one of the first quizzes I've taken. The situation, but anyways, so I did very well on it. I got 100, and I showed all the work and everything. And the learning goal was students will be able to perform arithmetic operations on polynomials. And my grade obviously shows that I was able to pass through this year. But I didn't chance the next question, that's okay.
So is this something that you can go to her and say, over this first question?
Sure.
She went over, did you ever understand?
Yeah, it was area and being able to see equations. Next is the Fibonacci sequence presentation. So this was done on Prezi, which is just a software.
Okay.
And just click the little arrow to continue. And the learning goal was to apply what I learned about the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio into a present presentation to inform my
English,
classmates.
for English, I picked
And I chose it because it's something that I've never learned and
the Odyssey, which we learned about Odysseus, who is a Greek warrior from Trojan War, and making no reference.
And the Fibonacci is like found all within nature, like the pineapple and flowers and stuff like that.
Which basically the Cyclops, Cyclops was Neptune's son, said to not see, and that part was used always like I want to see. So basically,
Okay,
there's a
that
question about
concludes
why.
for algebra. Now we're going to biology. And we're going to do the heart power.
Next I picked vocabulary, which is
And this is something that I recently did like last week.
definition and my.
Oh yeah, this is what Orlando was telling me that you were working on. We're only working on the heart, Mom.
The learning goal is students will be able to research the cardiovascular system and apply their knowledge to make a PowerPoint. It helped me learn about what's going on in my body.
And the reason I picked it is because I got A1. And I tried to figure it out. Question is like the writers like what happened in the book is like what happened from Trojan War to Island.
So what else are you adding onto this PowerPoint?
That's all that we needed to do.
Yeah.
So are you,
I didn't
what is she gonna be doing, like a lot more?
We just finished everything and now we're doing EOC review. And we just took a test on the systems. And we talked about the arteries and the capillaries and the veins and stuff like that.
Next is
So that,
math.
okay, now we're going into another science one, which is the difference between DNA and RNA.
I gotta go to the breakdown
And the learning goal was students will be able to recognize the difference between
on the usual practice lessons.
And
You'll see which I'm taking next week. And basically, we
the topic interests me because it's genetics and stuff like that, and I did well and it shows that I was able to understand this skill.
and or pass it and or get a credit.
Okay, Now, lastly, we're going to do HOPE, which is health and
And
physical education all in one
and this one we
class.
did 4.5. And like I said, 506.
We're going to start off with the drug research project, and my drug was hashish.
Basically like it's basically like drag and drop. We're basically like showing equation. You gotta
But
drag and drop.
it was students will understand the characteristics of drugs, alcohol, and tobacco, and be able to analyze the physical, mental, social, and legal consequences associated with it.
Do it more often.
And I learned a lot about the project, including bad consequences for doing drugs, which you can use every day.
Next is science. I did a PowerPoint on food and water. I did the Ganges River, which is the third largest river. It's basically one of the most polluted rivers, probably the most polluted in the world. Basically, we have a picture and some pictures to graph the definition.
Okay. Now, finally, we have the alcohol test.
We basically almost like every day.
And the learning goal for the alcohol test was students will understand the characteristics of drugs, alcohol, and tobacco, and be able to analyze the physical, mental, social, and legal consequences associated with them. We learned about DUI and medical bills that could go along with alcohol,
I got an 80 on the property alcohol. I got
just
like
basically
90.
basics.
Next I picked a mosquito article. It's basically learned about.
What was the one you got wrong? Do you remember?
About how it
I didn't get the test back, but I know that obviously I will, and I'll be able to use it.
I got supervised, you know, that
Not my daily life, but when I'm older.
supervisor.
You know what I'm trying to say.
It basically,
So, I chose the piece because I did well on the test and I learned important and valuable information.
which basically like experimenting.
Now, that is it for this portfolio in action. Do you have any additional questions?
For hope, I picked
Okay.
I picked
Did you enjoy this?
vocabulary, which is right now we're learning about right now we're learning about like
Okay.
medicine, like different.